Since November, I've been one of the most vocal Laker fans when it comes to Luke Walton and getting him the hell out of here. But this game of the Sixers, I'm really glad that some fans are now starting to wake up and notice what I have been talking about for so many months now about this guy. This game against the Sixers should have not been a blowout. It was never going to be a blowout. The Lakers were in this game from the get-go, and in Luke Walton fashion, his amazing, spectacular, just perfect rotations puts the Lakers in a hole that they had no right to be in. We go into the second quarter of this game, and the Sixers have on the court Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler, and instead of having one of Ingram, Kuzma, and LeBron in the game, my boy subs in the entire bench unit with Mike Muscala, who's just been into the team, and Rondo, KCP, and Lance against Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler. Now, I don't think Brett Brown's a great coach, but here's a guy that knows that he's going to stagger his players' minutes. Either he's going to keep the starting lineup on the court, or he's going to leave either 2 or 3 of those guys on the court at all times in every single game. The Lakers don't do that. Kyle Kuzma had 39 points, and he sits the whole ending of the third quarter and doesn't come back into the game until the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. The Lakers end the third quarter when they have already bounced back into this game. They end the third quarter with LeBron, Ingram, and Kuzma all in the bench in a game where they're coming back in. What sense does it make to have all 3 of those guys on the bench? You have to stagger the minutes. This guy is never going to get it. He's never going to understand it. I know a lot of Laker fans like to blame Magic Johnson for everything and say that Luke Walton's the scapegoat because that's what happens when you get LeBron James. It's not that. There's nobody to blame. There's no Magic blame. There's no LeBron blame. Luke Walton has done this to himself. He's hired a coaching staff that is not qualified to be coaching in the NBA other than Brian Shaw. Name me another coach on that staff that has NBA qualifications. Name me another one. They lost one, and they never even, added anybody else to the staff. They don't have a shooting coach. The one they had, Luke Walton fired, and the one that Magic Johnson recommended to Luke Walton said they didn't need it. The Lakers are last in free throw shooting for the 2nd year in a row. They don't have a shooting coach. The defense has regressed. The half-court offense is god-awful. The rotations, every single game, the rotations are just a freaking joke. I get it. Lonzo's injured, but the rotation should not be this bad. There should not be a point in this game where all 3 of your best players are sitting on the bench and 1 or 2 of the best players on the Sixers are on the court. And that's how you lose games. They could have made that trade for Anthony Davis. Nothing would have changed. The same thing would have happened. Anthony Davis would have been sitting on the bench to start the fourth quarter, just like Kyle Kuzma is, when Kyle Kuzma is literally on fire. The Lakers don't play till Tuesday in Atlanta, and then they have the All-Star break. You could have staggered the minutes for each of these players, especially LeBron, especially Ingram. You don't start the second quarter with the full bench unit against Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler. That's how they pulled away. To top it off, they put Rondo on JJ Redick. I mean, dude, this team, it is time. And it's been time. They should have done this in December. It is time to fire Luke Walton. It is time to move on from Luke Walton. He's had his chance. It's been 3 years in a row of the same stuff. For all those fans that love to talk about D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle and Jordan Clarkson, those guys had the same issues with Luke Walton's rotations. Those guys are playing better in other places. That's why I don't think some of these guys are that bad. I think Ingram, Kuzma, Lonzo, Hart, Wagner, a lot of these guys have been held back by this putrid, awful coaching staff that this head coach has put together. How is Lonzo and Brandon Ingram going to improve their shooting when there's no shooting coach? How does that work? It doesn't, because there is no shooting coach for them to work with to help them elevate their game into becoming a shooter. Kyle Kuzma, his defense has improved a little bit, but hasn't improved all that much because the defense has regressed altogether. The rotations are garbage. It just doesn't make sense. I know a lot of fans are crying about the Zubac trade. Like Zubac would have made a difference in this game whatsoever. Embiid is just a monster. You know, Joel Embiid's going to get his numbers. Last time the Lakers and Sixers played, Joel Embiid had 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists against Zubac. So there's no Zubac with Zubac. A healthy Laker team and not healthy Laker team. Anthony Davis, no Anthony Davis. Kawhi Leonard, no Kawhi Leonard. If Luke Walton is still the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, the Lakers are going absolutely nowhere. They're going to become a mediocre team that they are, and they're not even going to make the goddamn playoffs because they're sticking with the coach that Jeannie Buss is in love with that doesn't get the job done. He put himself in this position. It wasn't Magic's fault. It's not LeBron's fault. Homeboy should have freaking improved already. The offense should have been better. The half-court offense is garbage. Last in freaking tempo, last in free throw shooting. That's on the coach, my boy. They should have fixed this already. This guy has had so many years, 3 years, and all these months to fix this. And it's in February, and the rotations are still garbage. How? That's on Luke. A lot of people want to blame Magic for everything, but it's not on Magic. This dude should have gotten better. I'm like, it's amazing, dude, to watch every single Laker game and watch the same stupid problems every single stupid game. Every game. And there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse for this guy. From the beginning of the year, oh, it's because new players and we have to make chemistry. And then when LeBron got hurt, oh, it's because of the injuries and this and that. Even though when they were healthy, they were still playing mediocre. Now LeBron's back and the same problems exist. So what is the new excuse? The trade rumors, the chemistry issues? These guys are professionals. I never bought into the whole chemistry thing about these players being hurt about trade rumors. You got to understand, Lonzo Ball, Ingram, Kuzma, they've been part of trade rumors since the moment they got drafted by the Lakers. We're making it seem like the Lakers weren't trying to get Paul George in the trade with Indiana, or they weren't trying to get Kawhi Leonard in trade rumors with San Antonio. All these guys have been part of trade rumors. Lance Stevenson has been traded twice. Rajon Rondo has been traded and cut and signed and has bounced off the team to team. You're telling me these professional players are going to be hurt about trade rumors when they've been involved in trade rumors since the moment they made it to the NBA? That's the NBA, my boys. I don't buy into it. It's just a list of excuses for this kid of why he's not a good coach. Newsflash, he's just not good. He's not even mediocre. Here's another thing. Stop hiring Warriors assistant coaches. Look at Alvin Gentry with the New Orleans Pelicans. That team freaking sucks. It's just annoying, man. It's absolutely annoying to see this Laker team that has so much potential to be good, and to see some of these kids be held back. You hold out Kuzma till the 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter in the game you're losing when this kid has 37 points. It's just, I don't get it, man. I really don't. And I know there's probably going to be some fans in the comment section that tell me I'm wrong and I'm using Luke Walton as the scapegoat. I'm not. I've seen enough from this guy. And you know what? If you want to ride with Luke, ride with Luke. But look at his staff. Look at the numbers. Look at the rotations. Look at the plus minuses. LeBron was +6 in this game and was sitting on the bench to end the third quarter and to start the fourth. Now, if you're going to say, oh, well, what, they can't play these players the whole game, it's called staggering the minutes. It's called leaving one of these 3 players on the court at all times. Maybe not all together, but at least one of them being on the court at all times and staggering the minutes. This is a concept that this coach just doesn't know exists. It's annoying. I honestly do not think this team even makes the playoffs at this point. They should have made a coaching change in December. I don't think Jason Kidd's an option either, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, so who do you think they should hire? They should go for somebody. I could talk myself into Mark Jackson, but I don't think Mark Jackson's a good coach at all. But I could talk myself into that one more than I could talk myself into Luke. Here's a guy that started the whole Warriors revolution to becoming one of the greatest teams of all time. We like to diss them because they didn't do anything like they did with under Steve Kerr. But you need to understand, you know, the Warriors. Mark Jackson may help the Warriors make it to the playoffs, but I don't think he's the answer. I'm not standing for Mark Jackson. There's other guys out there. There's other options. Another thing, stop hiring ex-Lakers. Stop hiring ex-Lakers to coach this team. I know you're a loyal franchise. Stop hiring ex-Lakers to coach the Lakers. It does not work. It does not work. Just stop. Go get somebody like Ettore Messina, the assistant coach of the San Antonio Spurs that you have interviewed multiple times. Here's a guy who is ready to take over this team and become a really good coach. And working under Pop for so many years, this guy is legitimate. Go get somebody like that. An assistant coach with high upside like Ettore Messina. Give a chance to that guy. Don't give a chance to Luke, because Luke Walton did really good with a Warriors team that literally at this point, I think anybody can coach that Warriors team and succeed. Because if Mike Brown could coach that Warriors team in the playoffs and they could just easily make it to the finals without Steve Kerr, who cannot coach that Warriors team? Honestly, at this point. Literally Byron Scott could come coach that team and the team's still going to be good. There needs to be a coaching change. If there's not a coaching change, I don't think this team makes the playoffs, and there should have been one at the end. He's not a scapegoat. It's not Magic's fault. It's not LeBron's fault. The only person to put himself in that position has been Luke Walton and his coach. Anyways, boys, let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think? Do you think Luke Walton is being, doesn't get the respect he deserves? Do you think he deserves another chance? And whose fault do you think it is? I'd love to know your guys' opinion. Comment down below. I'm pissed. I don't think this team's making the playoffs, and that's a tough pill to swallow. We got a game against Atlanta on Tuesday. Then you got the All-Star break, and then there's 25 games, and we're about 2 games back of the playoff seeds. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Like I said, doesn't matter who you bring in. Doesn't matter who's healthy. Doesn't matter what happens. The rotations, the defense, the half-court offense, free throw shooting dead last for the 2nd year in a row. Those things stand out, and that's the reason why you lose games like this. I'll see you guys later on. Too sweet.